On the corporate side, President Trump has talked about a 15% rate. There's no way you're going to get a 15% rate. Isn't that right?
So let's go as low as we can go. I mean, that's our goal.
What do you think, 20, 22%?
Well, look, we proposed 20 in the House blueprint. That's our goal, continues to be our goal in this discussion.
Because there's some business people who say, look, going from 35 to 25 is going to be a yawn. It's just not going to move the needle very much.
We're not doing tax reform so we can leapfrog to the middle, so that we can leapfrog to be merely average. There's no reason to do this, so we still think the bolder we go on the rates and how we unlock that business investment through expensing, we think is really critical.
There is a lot of debate in terms of the deductions. So what are the sacred cows in your view? I mean, you've said that you would favor keeping the charitable deduction in place. Is that right?
Yeah, so I really think on the postcard, we're proposing keeping the home mortgage deduction and the charitable deduction. Those are really cultural type of incentives. And we're taking a fresh look at how we can incentivize more charitable giving, for example, across the income spectrum. We keep the child tax credit and the college credit. In fact, we're redesigning that so we encourage more use of it for technical schools, welding, plumbing, all those skills we really need in America. And we keep the credit to help keep people from welfare to work. We think those are critical elements of the postcard, but we're also listening. We're listening to lawmakers, we're listening to stakeholders on what exactly they want on that postcard and still keeping the rates low.
So what happens when you're up against, say, Congressman Peter King, who will say, I am not going to buy into anything that eliminates the deduction for property. My constituents are paying $30,000 in property taxes every year, $40,000, something like that. I mean, how are you going to negotiate when you've got sacred cows elsewhere that you want to get rid of, and there are some of your colleagues on the right who say, I can't vote for that?
So there's no question. We can keep the status quo. We can keep New York's tax rates at effectively over 44% and keep state and local sales tax deduction. That's not a problem. Or we can lower those rates substantially and let all Americans, including New Yorkers, pay their local, state and local taxes, but have a net tax cut as we do it. And I think at the end of the day, people are going to opt for lower rates, a far simpler code, and everyone just sort of use the dollars, the savings they get for their priorities.
If you don't get health care done, I mean, we're talking about another vote next week, which people are saying you don't have the votes to actually do the repeal next week. If health care does not get done, what do you end up doing? Do you just cut taxes or what?
So, look, I think it's incredibly important for the Senate, individual Republicans to stay at the table till they solve this problem. In my district, Obamacare is collapsing. You know, this really isn't an option to do nothing, so I hope they continue to do it. But from a tax standpoint, look, I want those taxes, healthcare taxes, out of the economy. If that doesn't happen, we're moving forward anyway, regardless on tax reform.
Real quick, when do you expect we will actually see the bread and butter here in terms of tax reform?
Yeah, so I think fall is the timetable for delivery in 2017. You know, I've gotten away from specific dates on this stuff. Let's get the policy right. Let's deliver this year. We still have some work to do, obviously, in all this, in the tax discussions. But again, I think people are going to like the boldness and the permanence of this plan.
Do you get any support, any participation from Democrats?
We do. We're having discussions with House Democrats and centrist Democrats about tax reform. We welcome their ideas. Look, their economies are struggling too.
Mr. Chairman, thanks so much for walking us through it.
No, thanks, Maria.
We know we'll have some time with you in the month of August.
Yeah, looking forward to that.
Chairman Brady, we'll be right back.